welcome to the Fellowship of the Ring book club discussion. Sorry about the tiny delay. My computer is spazzing out, so we're going to see how this goes. But I have with me again sweet Bookish Kelley. Kelley, would you like to just share a little bit about yourself for those that don't know you?
Sure. Kelley, that's me, and I'm Bookish. So I have a channel here on YouTube, and I also I homeschool my kids. They're teenagers, and I live in Northwest Arkansas, and I don't know what to say about myself.
That's good.
I like Tolkien and the Bible.
This is Kelley. She's wonderful. Her channel is linked in the description box. If you do not subscribe to Kelley, you absolutely should. She is wonderful. And Kelley has read The Lord of the Rings before, so it's kind of fun having her on here. She came on last time and this time. I can't promise she'll be on here every time, but you guys requested for her to come back, so she so graciously said yes. But we're here to talk about the Fellowship of the Ring. And just so you guys know, my husband is taking care of a family member. We have a family member who is battling cancer right now. And so he is on duty to help her. So that means I have Zion with me. He's currently in the playroom. I have him on the monitor, the baby monitor right here, so I can watch him. But it's possible he could interrupt at any moment. So I just asked for some grace for that. But he's been playing and he seems pretty happy at the moment. But yeah, let's see who is in here and then we'll get started with our discussion. Again, last time we went through the questions pretty quickly. I think it was only like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But just in case if we start getting like too chatty and it gets too long, I'm going to try to limit every question to 10 minutes. Just if I feel like we're going off or anything like that, just out of respect of everybody's time. And because I have Mr. Zion with me tonight, I don't want to go too long and push my luck. Alrighty, let's see who's in here tonight. Hi, April. Catherine, yay! I'm so glad you're here, Catherine. Hi, Emily.
Hey.
Yes, of course. So glad to be here and so glad Kelley's here too. Kirsten, hi. Hi, Jesse. Hello, hello. Casey, hey, Casey. Hi, Lynn.
Hey.
We got Barb in the house. M. Hi, M. I'm glad you made it, M. And bring on the Zion chaos. We love him too. I know you guys are so great with when it comes to him and his toddler chaos. So I knew it wouldn't be too big of a problem, but just want to give everybody a heads up who's not used to the toddler chaos. Hello, hello. If you would like to tell me your first name, I would love to know what name to call you on here. Unless you just want me to call you Jay for just passing through, I can do that too. Hi, Felicia. Hand pink waving. I don't think the emoji works on the live. Oh, hi, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. Well, awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the questions. The first one we're going to start is going to be super easy, and all of the questions are going to show up down here at the bottom of the screen. So if you forget what question it was, I've got them all ready to go so you can see what we're talking about. So this first question is, what was your star rating for the book, and was this your first time reading or a reread? Kelley, do you want to go first?
Sure. This was my second time reading it. The first time I read it was last year. So if I still don't pick up on all the little things, like, don't be surprised. It's a big book and it's only my second time reading it. But still, so good. 5 stars again. Like, I loved it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had somebody comment and the person was like, I might just be a little nerdy when it comes to Lord of the Rings, but are you going to be going into the Silmarillion and all of the history and all of that? And I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm sorry, this is my first time reading through. I am not deep into all that lore. But the first time, so this was this was my only reread for this whole series. The first time I read this a few years ago, I gave it a 5 stars. And this time that I read it, I actually gave it a 3 stars.
Really?
It's not like, to me, 3 stars is still good. That's still, I really liked it and enjoyed it. But I wasn't as in love with it this time. And I think it's because we just have so much going on personally that it was just like a lot of info dumping and a lot of just like description. And there were a lot of times I was just like, I just want to get back to the adventure. And lots of things just I felt like were going over my head. And I had read it before. All of these tabs were from the first time I read this. So I clearly do love this story. But this reread, I feel like your mindset can totally shift whether how much you enjoy a book. And so I just think, you know, with our sick family member and with me doing lots of like more solo parenting, so to speak, because of that, my brain just had a really hard time this time. But I still enjoyed it. And there's still so much in here that I do love. But for me, it just wasn't as good this time around.
Yeah, well, I feel like it can also probably feel like that after having just finished The Hobbit, which I think is more of a cozy read.
Yes. So, in The Hobbit, I enjoyed even more than this. And I like it's not as funny as The Hobbit and all of that kind of stuff. But I can't believe I hadn't read The Hobbit before reading this the first time. When I went into it this time, I was like, oh my word, there's so much I didn't pick up on the first time. So I think story, it's a 5-star story, but my enjoyment this time was like a 3-star enjoyment.
that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Barb said it was a 5 for her and first time. Barb, you finished that quickly. I read it all last weekend in like a 4-day period. And I think that might have been part of why, because I didn't take my time. So with the 2 Towers, I'm going to do 1 chapter a day and sit down and listen and really try to soak it in. But because I'd read it before, I was like, oh, okay, I can like read it faster. So part of that was my fault too. But Barb, when we were sprinting, we did reading sprints on Tuesday, and I think she was only on chapter 10 maybe. You got through that pretty quick, Barb. That's awesome. Felicia says 5 stars, second time as well.
Yay.
4th or 5th time, over 25 years, 4 stars for sure. That's awesome. Whoa. 5 stars and not my first time reading it. Okay, 5 stars and it was April's first time. I gave it 5 stars and it was my first time reading it. I loved it so much. Yeah, so Kirsten, she reads The Hobbit every single year as a reread for the last several years, and she'd never read the rest of the series. So this is her first time jumping into it.
I can't judge on that because The Hobbit was my favorite book since I was 11, and I didn't read The Lord of the Rings until last year.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Jessie says 5 stars and first time reading it. 4-star and first time for Casey. Danielle says 4 stars. I listened to the audiobook and loved it. I know that I did the Andy
Serkis one or the other one, Danielle?
Yeah, which one did you do, Andy or Danielle? I did the Andy Serkis one, and his voices are just amazing. And you know, I just found out that Andy Serkis, I knew that he voiced Gollum in the movies. Well, apparently all of like Hollywood wanted him to be nominated for like a Grammy or whatever the award is for movies.
Yeah.
And Hollywood wouldn't let him be nominated because it wasn't a real person he was playing, because it was just voice acting. And so like so many people wanted him to be nominated for an award for Gollum, but they were like, nope, he wasn't playing a real person, so it can't count.
But they put like things on his face and like made him do the whole CGI thing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like he should have been nominated.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he deserves an award for that.
Yeah.
Emma says, I'm still in the progress this time around. I wasn't rating last time I read it, but I'm thinking it was probably a 4. It's feeling like a 4.5 so far. Yay. Well, we thank you for still coming in to talk with us, Em. Barb, I get that. Thank you. The audiobook is amazing. Yeah, the audio, it's so good. My first time rereading the Andy Serkis audiobook, I forgot we were talking this week, so I started listening this week. So I got to Bree and met Aragorn. Oh, I loved Aragorn. First time, so glad to hear Kay say 3 stars. That's me, but I want to learn to increase my appreciation. Yeah, I think it can just be a lot. And I just know that next time I just need to take my time, like way more slowly. And I thought I could do quick because I'd read it before. And I think maybe slowing down to read it would increase your appreciation because it is like a slower book. Like there are times where it's like you're sitting in one spot in the book and you need to take in all the information to really like get the full scope of it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm only like 1/4 in and it begins so slowly. I know. I only got through the first half this time. It had been a few years and I forgot how long and detailed it is. Yeah, that's what I appreciate the details to a certain extent, but sometimes the details were just like a little much. And I was like, can we please just get on with the story? Okay, Danielle, awesome. Glad you got the Andy Serkis one.
Yay.
Andy for sure deserves an Oscar. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, our next question is, which character did you connect with the most and why?
Okay. I feel like I connect with Sam, and here's why. Because I love coming alongside others and like acting in a supportive role to them as they are doing what they've been called to do. I like to support them, encourage them, and help them get to where they need to be. And I feel like that's what Sam does. That's like that is what he knows his task is to support, uplift, encourage. And that's kind of where my heart is, like to the point where I feel like anxiety a little bit when I'm put like front and center. I'm like, I'd rather be back here, like behind the scenes, or like in a position like this. Like if this is your thing and I'm just coming on to support you. Like so I totally like I jive with Sam.
Oh, you're my Sam.
I take that.
Yeah, so I don't know who I connected with the most. I feel like I like Merry and Pippin because they're just like silly and goofy, and I feel like I can relate with them that way. But then I I don't know. I feel like Sam too for that reason because he is just like supportive, and I just love the way that he. Okay, so Frodo, he reminds me of Bilbo in a lot of the way that he was kind of resistant about an adventure, but not as bad as Bilbo, I don't feel like. And I feel like that would be me. Like, I know there's a task that needs to be done, so I'm going to do it, even if, like, my whole heart isn't in it. And I kind of felt like he had that resistance there in the beginning. And I love Sam because he's a helper, and I feel like I'm a helper too. But Sam is like, heck yeah, let's go do this. And I'm like, I'm a little more reserved than that. So maybe I'm more of a Frodo than I am a Sam because I'm kind of a scaredy cat. And I feel like Sam, for a hobbit, he has a lot of courage because he was like, I want to go on this journey. Like, let's go do it. Like, can I please meet the elves? Can I please? And I feel like that was the complete opposite of Bilbo.
Yeah.
So,
That also very much me. I'm like, yes, let's have an adventure.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I'm like Frodo in the way that like I'm up for it if I have to.
See, so I really am the Sam to your Frodo.
Mhm. You're my Sam. Okay, let's see. Oh, where are we at? Sorry, guys. I clicked on like 12 of them at once. Daniel said Sam as well for me, Kelley.
Yay.
I connected the most with Bilbo the most. SBs. What does that mean? Get spoons, and I'm off to write another book. I think you might need to elaborate on what SB is, Kirsten. Okay, Danielle says same reasons as Kelley for Sam.
Yay.
Awesome. Catherine says Frodo. He thinks deeply about the adventures and perils and goes anyway. I want to be brave like that. Okay, yeah.
That's true. He is brave.
Yeah.
He's
I
brave.
feel like, so if we're talking Harry Potter, I'm a Gryffindor, and that's kind of like the Gryffindors. They're like the brave ones, and I feel like there's a lot of those traits that you could see in Frodo if you were. This isn't a Harry Potter conversation, but you know, yeah, I feel that. Sam, Kelley summed it up pretty well. Aww. Hard to pinpoint, maybe Pippin. How often I start an adventure that turns out to be much deeper, dangerous than I anticipated.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure. Sam is the real hero here. Oh,
I love Sam so much.
yeah, he's so sweet. Connect with or identify with. I connect with Aragorn, but identify with Frodo. Okay, yeah. Okay. I will go where I need to go, but not super excited about it. Yes. I would say Aragorn is my favorite character in the whole book. Aragorn for sure is my favorite. But connect with Frodo. Yeah, I agree with you, Barb. I think we're on the same page. I need a t-shirt that says I'm up for it if I have to. I love Sam, but I feel like I'm more Mary. He has his strengths, but is happy to do things in the background and just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pippin, I would for sure throw the stone down the well and ruin things. Felicia. Oh my goodness. Oh, the sack of Bagginses. Okay, so let's go back to Kirsten's comment. She said, I connected the most with Bilbo the most. The Saxville Bagginses get spoons, and I'm off to write another book.
Got it.
I loved the scene where he was leaving different gifts to the people in his family because they were all just so like backhanded compliments.
Yes.
It was so funny. He like sent the one guy envelopes and said something like, I'm sure you'll make good use of it because he never replied to mail or something. Yeah. I was like, that's amazing.
You know, last time we talked about how sassy Gandalf is, which 100% still he's sassy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that rubbed off on Bilbo in his old age. Like, Bilbo got very sassy.
Amazing. Casey is going to have to leave early. Okay, well, I hope you have fun with your family, and feel free to catch the replay and leave all of your thoughts in the comments, Casey. But thanks for popping on and saying hi. Frodo or Sam, I try to do the right thing even when I don't want to. I am a loyal friend. I wish I was more like Strider or Gandalf. I admire their courage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aragorn is my second favorite. Sam is my favorite. Yeah. I'm really interested to see who our favorite character. Sorry, guys. The sunlight is just moving, so I'm going to have to keep moving my camera. I'm interested to see like who our favorites are like by the end of the whole series to see if it changes or if like, you know, Aragorn and Sam, because I feel like that's a lot of people's favorites right now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. April, I'm a Bilbo. All right. So our next question is, what role does friendship play in the fellowship, and which relationship stood out the most to you? So, what role does friendship play?
Yeah. I think, I mean, it plays a huge role. You know, the fact that Pippin and Mary and Sam, like, because they were Frodo's friends, they knew that something was going on with him. They saw that, and even though Frodo was willing to go off and do this thing on their own, and they knew that without him even saying anything, they prepared for themselves to go along with him and help him on whatever it was that he was going through, that where he needed to go. And that's a beautiful friendship. And the fact that, like, you know, everybody, most of the people that went for the Fellowship of the Ring, you know, once it was established, everybody that went on that mission, most of them were doing it out of duty. But the three hobbits, they joined Frodo out of friendship.
Mhm.
And those are some of the most significant people that went along with him. I mean, they're all significant. They all have an amazing role to play, and they all have their strengths. But I love that they did that. And really also Frodo, part of the reason that he even agreed to do this in the first place is because of his friendship with Gandalf. He trusts Gandalf and he wants to do, like, so I feel like, yeah, huge role.
Yeah, it just makes me think of that scene where they're in the field, and I think Sam is like, if I take one more step, this will be like the furthest out of the Shire I've ever been. And like that step of one, just like faith and courage to be there with Frodo. Was it Sam that said that? I
Yeah.
think it was Sam. And the fact that he just like went anyway, and the fact that they were so supportive of Frodo, even when, I mean, just think of how it ended.
Yeah.
Like Frodo was so ready to just go on his own, and Sam is like, "All right, you can go on your own, but I'm coming with you."
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I love their friendship. It's the best one. Like I love all their friendships, but yeah.
Their relationship stood out. I'd say just the hobbits for sure. Yeah. Let's see what the comments say.
I also like that Legolas and Gimli develop a friendship.
Yes.
Two people groups that are supposed to hate each other, and they develop a friendship to the point where they're going off by themselves and just bonding, and I love that.
Yeah, I did listen to just like a history of what all of this stuff is between the peoples, and then the whole them not being people that get along, like the elves and the dwarves.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to get into that in another question. So let's see what everybody else is saying. Okay, where are we at? Okay. I love when Mary says that they can be trusted to go with him into danger and can't be trusted to leave him alone.
Yeah. That was good. I loved that.
The sunlight makes you look angelic.
See it,
Kelley was telling me that before the camera came on. We're live. Thank you. Okay. It's so much about friendship. Exactly. Yep. Loyalty and devotion. I love Frodo and Sam's friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship bonds the characters together and is what helps them get through the hard times. I gotta say, Gimli, I can't ever say it right. Gimli and Legolas is just a really amazing friendship, healing old race wounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Your friends may very well be your lifeline. Sam and Frodo stood out because their prior relationship was master and employee, but Frodo treated Sam as an equal. Oh, I love that perspective. I love that. They give each other strength and courage to keep going. Love Gimli and Legolas's friendship we're beginning to see. They had to overcome many centuries of prejudice.
Yep.
Also love how Gimli and Legolas, these names are going to just be tongue ties for me. Oh, I love the friendship that developed, or how they developed a friendship. Yeah, I love that so many people brought that one in, because that's not one that I was even thinking to mention. Friendship is what binds them together on this joint task. They each have their differences, but they are able to focus on the goal and not get sidetracked by conflict. And Legolas and Gimli. Even the maggots when Frodo says he's missed a good friend because he had avoided for 30 years. One of my favorite quotes in the book was when they get to Rivendell. Is that where the elves are?
Mm-hmm.
They get to Rivendell, and I can't remember who it is, but he asks Frodo, like, "You're very fond of..." Oh, sorry, guys. I think Jacob just got here to go pick up Zion, maybe. So sorry about the dogs. But I love the quote. What was I talking about, you guys? I'm so sorry. That so set me off. Oh, they get to Rivendell, and he's like, I love, guys, I screenshot this. Let me just stop stumbling over my words and read the screenshot of the quote to you. Okay, here it is. It was like a friendship quote in a way. Oh, here it is. Okay. Glowin looked at Frodo and smiled. You were very fond of Bilbo, were you not? He asked. Yes, answered Frodo. I would rather see him than all the towers and the palaces in the world.
Aww.
Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Like, yes,
Yeah.
they're like a familial relationship, but he's like, I would much rather just be with Bilbo than anybody.
Yeah.
I think the relationship between Frodo and Bilbo is so important. If Frodo doesn't want an adventure, he just wants to see Bilbo again. And then it was shortly after that quote that I just read that they got reconnected.
Yeah.
Sorry guys about the lighting. We're just going to have to let the sun pass because of our skylights. I loved the Frodo who was obviously more educated, never insulted Sam. He was always appreciative of Sam's loyalness. Yes. All right. Next question. What was your favorite scene or the scene that surprised you the most? Well, I have my answer.
Yeah.
My favorite scene is the scene where they are leaving or they're entering the elf place and they wanted to blindfold Gimli. And Aragorn is like, no, we're all going to be blindfolded if he has to be blindfolded.
Yeah.
And I thought that to me was just this really like impactful moment of just unity between the whole group, but also of like ranking and being equals,
Yeah,
you know? And he was like, he just showed such great leadership there and didn't want him to feel left out. But also I think it's interesting how he didn't like fight for him not to be blindfolded. He was just kind of like, all right, well, we're just all going to be blindfolded. Like it's whatever, no big deal. And so for me, that scene, it's just like the I am Sparta scene, essentially in the book, and that's my favorite.
I love that. I think that's a really good scene too. I think honestly, like I know I just talked about it, but the scene where the three other hobbits are like, no, we're going to go with you. We've seen that you've been struggling and we want to go with you. And I think that's I think honestly that's my favorite scene, and that's why it sticks out so much to me as far as the friendship goes, because that's beautiful. And I need people like that in my life, that they can see when I'm like going through something, even if I'm not saying anything about it, and they're going to be like, I'm coming alongside you, I'm here for you. And I love that.
Yeah, I think both of the scenes we mentioned have to do with that friendship, and yeah, that's why I was like, we'll get into that in a little bit. But I just love that so much. Okay, where were we at? Catherine says, I love the party scene at the beginning.
Yes, that's fun.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So funny. Two favorites: the time when the hobbits got a wee bit tipsy at the Golden Pony, and also the scene when Tom Bombadil invites them into his home after saving Merry and Pippin from being swallowed up.
Do you know what? I know a lot of people say that Tom Bombadil is annoying to them. I adore him. I love Tom Bombadil.
People say that?
Yes, people say that he's annoying, and I don't like. I love Tom Bombadil. I think he's so fun.
Okay, if anybody in this chat right now doesn't like Tom Bombadil, I'm not going to say anything, but you know where the exit button is. I love him too. Like, I really do. Like, the scenes with him were just so interesting. But he, I mean, we can get into it later when we get into like some of the biblical things, but he just like reminded me of like a representation of Christ, essentially. Because like he's like always been there, and the nature listens to his commands, and he has no fear. And like they were saying in the group chat in Discord that I think it was Jesse who said, I love that Tom wrote his own theme song. Like, I just loved him for sure.
Oh gosh.
Jesse says, I agree with Kay. What did I say?
About the scene where
the blindfold.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what was my answer? This question is impossible. One of the best was when Frodo woke up to see Gandalf watching over him in the house of Elrond. What a comfort that would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after 9 years of not seeing him, right? Because he hadn't seen him yet before then, right?
I don't think it had been 9.
It was a long time because
he hadn't seen him since the last time that Gandalf had told him that he needed to leave the.
There was like a long gap where he was gone
Yeah.
in the beginning, but maybe I'm thinking of a different time. But yeah, it would be a comfort, like just knowing.
Yeah.
Here. The first time they met the elves, that was their first taste of wonder after having to fear the Black Riders. Yeah. Rivendell, like, I would love to experience it. Also, every scene where Tom Bombadil is singing. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Kirsten. You can stay. When Gimli is awestruck by Galadriel.
Yes, his like the way he's just like.
Okay, sorry, I was checking to see where my child was. He's good. The scene that surprised me the most was Gandalf's fall, but my favorite scene was Sam fighting to get on the boat with Frodo at the end of the book.
Yes, he's practically drowning himself just to get to Frodo.
I know. Okay, I'm going to try to move my desk up to see if that helps the lighting situation. Maybe it'll make it worse. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better. Okay, I'm going to stand.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I love that scene at the end of the book. Like, I'm going alone. Okay, but you're taking me with you. I love it, love it, love it. Anticipating your friend's need and being prepared to help them.
Yeah.
Yes. I also loved Tom this time. Did you not love him before? Em, were you one of them? Emily says he did for the first time strike me as a tad annoying this time. His songs were so silly and he never shut up. But he used to be my favorite character. I still like him, just not as much. That's so interesting. I'm sorry, Emily. Love the scene with Galadriel in her angelic presence.
Yeah.
He was kind of creepy though. At the same time too, I felt like.
Oh, like when she started to like be like, give me the ring and I'll do all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like sweet. But yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
When Frodo sang his name and he showed up.
Yeah.
Galadriel's mirror was really good too. Yeah, that's so interesting. Yes, it reminded me of Dumbledore's pensive, except it showed the present instead of the past. Yeah, there are so many things in the Lord of the Rings that I'm like, huh. Like the ring reminds me of the Horcruxes in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Because the longer like you're around a Horcrux in Harry Potter, like the more irritated and under the influence of it you can get. And there's so much that like I could see from the two. I thought it was cool that Aragorn just accepted the lines Bilbo wrote about him. Not all gold glitters. Yes. I think that's so sweet. Like, okay, their relationship was adorable. Yeah. Like the fact that they would like Bilbo was like, okay, well, I need Aragorn to come and help me finish writing this song before I can. And he's like, oh well, I guess he helps me, but he only told me to make the jewel green. I think that's a cute relationship. Oh, Zion might be coming up. I thought my husband got home, but maybe not. I may not have been as fond of the songs before. Well, that leads us into the next question. How did you feel about the songs and poems in this book?
I still liked them. I didn't pay as much attention to the details this time. What I was really kind of focused on is the fact that, like, I know that J.R.R. Tolkien, like, actually wrote melodies to go with these songs. And I know that Andy Serkis doesn't sing those melodies. So I went in search of those melodies and listened to the songs be performed how Tolkien had meant for them to be performed, and they were so beautiful.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah. So reading, I really did not like the songs or poems. Like, that was one of the things, like, they just kept going over my head, or I was like, can we just get on with the story? And I even messaged in the Discord, I was like, all right, you guys, is there some sort of like Tolkien poetry commentary? Because I would love, like, somebody to have, like, not just a collection of the poems, but a collection of the poems with notes of what they're supposed to mean and represent. And we found one, but it's $60 for the whole volume, and it's like 1,800 pages long.
Oh my goodness, that is one heck of a time.
Yeah, so I was like, well, maybe I'm just not going to buy that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I didn't really like them this time. It was one of the things that I think just made me be like, can we just get on with the adventure? But I appreciated them the first time I read it. So I think it was a mood thing, you guys. Like, it's not him, it's me. Kirsten says, I love them, although the Rivendell poems got a bit much.
There were a lot there, yeah.
I think the songs and poems are much better if you hear them instead of just read them. Yeah. But I feel like also you need to sit down and, like, pay attention to what they're saying too. And
yeah,
for me, it just, like, I know, like, this is Tolkien's craft. Like, he had a reason for putting things where he did. I just don't know what they are. Where did you find the melodies?
So there are some people that post them online. There's a girl, Lady Moon something on Instagram.
If you find her when we're done, I can post it for I can post it in the Discord. Lynn, are you in the Discord group? If not, let me know. But yeah, we can find it and post it for everybody.
Okay. I might be able to find it on here.
Okay. And if you do, feel free to just, like, send it in the comments. Jesse says, I liked them, but I wish there wasn't so many. Yeah.
Lady Moon Cries is the name. Lady Moon Cries.
Do you want to type it in the chat?
I can try.
Kirsten says, where is the magical place you hear the original melodies? Okay, everybody wants to know. I took the time to read all the poetry and songs this time. It helped for me to read it aloud. Okay, maybe I'll try that, because when I read the Two Towers, I really want to just take it one chapter at a time and digest the information. So maybe that's what I'll do and see if that helps me. I liked them better this time. Sorry, Zion fell. He's good. Okay. Maybe I liked the songs of elves over dwarves, or maybe life is just easy for me this time around. You know, I think that's so interesting, because I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like the elf songs, but I like the elf songs because I feel like they seem like a little more ethereal almost, or maybe they're just like a little like elusive, if that's like a term for it. So I like the elf songs, but yeah, I think that's interesting because I've heard a lot of people say they don't like the elf songs.
I liked them both. I didn't like. I just thought that people would get annoyed at how often the songs are, but I think that they all sound great.
Yeah. Felicia says the passive aggressive ones that the elves write when they come into Rivendell were funny.
Yeah.
Funny, but mean.
Or the song that they sang about Frodo when they met with him on the road. I thought that one was kind of funny too.
I feel like I don't even remember all of them, because as I was in the process of reading them, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And I didn't even try. It's that bad. This is so much. Okay, I did like to listen to most of them with the audiobook. I could really appreciate them. Yeah, I love the tune, like even if it's not the original one, I think the tune Andy puts to them still makes it fun and interactive.
Yeah.
Kirsten says, I feel like it's easy to pass them off as a waffle, but there is some important stuff in that waffle. Exactly. And that's why I was like, if I could find like a poetry commentary, like if there's a way that I can just have it broken down to me, like what is important and why this is significant, I think I could have a greater appreciation for them. But I struggle with poetry, like old poetry, for a lot of reasons like that. A lot of times it just goes over my head. Lynn says, I will get into Discord. Okay, if you need a link to the Discord, send me a message on Patreon and I'll make sure you get it. Elf songs remind me of Anya, and she is my favorite. Okay, next question. How does the fellowship show the importance of unity despite differences?
Yeah, on like each person has their own strengths that like contribute to the group.
Mm-hmm.
And so like them being able to recognize each other's strengths and come together and work as a unit, like they would have failed miserably if all of them were exactly the same and they didn't have the strengths of this other person for whatever reason. And so I just,
To me, I posted this today in my faith reflection in Patreon, but to me, the like whole unity thing, it reminds me of the church and how God gives everybody different strengths, different spiritual gifts. Yes, different spiritual gifts, so it can run as the church needs to, and we can all help each other. So the company reminded me of the church in that way, is that everybody has something different, but also the importance of unity, again, to that scene where they all went blindfold.
Yeah.
So they could work as a team, as one, and I loved that. Okay, I'm going to try to put this down again. Sorry, guys. This sunlight is driving me crazy. Maybe we're like at the tail end of it, though, because we've just got a little bit more that the sun needs to move. Probably nobody cares but me. But anyway. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay. Danielle said, yes, I love Anya as well. Felicia says, I think it is a reflection of the church. Yes, we are all part of the body with different purposes. Amen. Yep. They each had their own family histories, which made them each have wisdoms and insights that others didn't have, and they could all contribute knowledge. That's what was so interesting about the Council of Elrond, is that everybody had a different part of the story, and them all coming together and being able to be like, well, this is what happened with, you know, the elves, or this is what happened here, or this is what happened 3,000 years ago when all of this started. They finally all got the picture and the scope of what was happening, and they realized that it would have to be Frodo who would be the one to destroy the ring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they each had different history and knowledge and things they experienced that it was really interesting to read. Okay, they used their differences to build unity in their strengths.
Yep.
The group as a whole is so much stronger as any one person. Various strengths or gifts are needed at different times. Yes, what Kelley said. And I think Aragorn insisting on them all being blindfolded was the perfect picture of that unity. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Next question is, what does the ring symbolize to you?
I mean, power, but like, you know, power that is just deeply rooted in greed. Like it's a greedy kind of power, and it symbolizes, like, you know, that's like, you know, surface, I guess, symbolization, but really like sin.
Yep.
So it's so like, if you start thinking about it as sin, and like, you know, the fact that I think there was a question that I was going to talk about this later, but like the fact that Gandalf was like, nope, not even going to tempt myself. Like, I just, yeah.
I mean, Galadriel too. Like
Yeah.
when she was offered the ring, she was like, yeah, I would have good intentions, but it wouldn't end up that way. So yeah, the ring, I had heard before I went into reading it that the ring is supposed to symbolize sin. So as I was reading, I had this picture of, okay, this is sin the whole time I was reading. And sin comes with temptation, it comes with power, it comes with corruption, and it just comes with all of these things. And it was just really, really interesting reading it through that perspective of it being sin, and so very relatable. So very relatable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Jesse was answering the last question, which was unity, maybe. A few times, everyone in the group had different opinions on what to do next, but they put aside their personal feelings to follow who was in charge. So they didn't let ego get in the way. Yes. Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, Emily says the ring symbolizes power. Catherine says the charming temptation of evil that can ensnare everyone, except Tom Bombadil for some reason. Yeah, and that's what was so interesting is like even in the Council of Elrond, they talked about how Tom Bombadil would survive it, but eventually it would get him too. But he would be like the last one to go. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I thought it was funny that they were like, I mean, we could totally trust that it wouldn't corrupt him, but we can't trust that he would actually take it and destroy it because he'd get too sidetracked.
Yeah.
I was like, I could see that.
So funny. Corrupted power. Danielle says temptation. Jesse says it represents sin. It affected everyone differently, and it can corrupt even good intentions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. For me, the promise of control and power, but it's an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that is so beautiful and powerful. What's not to love, except that the love of it destroys you to the core. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's supposed to represent or like symbolize like, oh, it's going to promise all of these good things.
Yeah.
But it's not going to end that way. The illusion of power, the evil one wants to tempt us with his version of power that is actually slavery to sin and shame.
Yeah. And they're really like whoever has it really does become a slave to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's so interesting too is like when they put on the ring, they're sent into this different like realm almost where Sauron, he can see them. So it's like when you put on the sin, you're just giving yourself over to him, you know, to the bad guy. I love the answer of it being sin. That fits so much better than my answer. Well, I can't say I'm original in that, and Kelley said it too, but it makes sense because sin is different things to different people. And what's so interesting is that I listened to somebody talking about the ring and how, you know, the nine writers were humans originally, but they got their rings and it eventually ate their bodies away. Yeah. But Gollum, formerly
Schmeagol,
his body, it had been like 500 years that he had the ring, and his body never faded because hobbits, they just want peaceful lives. They don't care about power. They don't care about riches. They don't care about all of these different things. So it's not going to have the same impact on a hobbit as it would a human. And so that's why Frodo and the hobbits can have the ring, and it's still going to corrupt them and mess with their mind because sin is sin. But the fact that I just thought that was so fascinating that that's why he still, like his body still like survived. And that's why Bilbo in the beginning kept talking about how he looked super young. And people were like, wait, why does he look so young? And it's because the ring, it wants to keep whoever has it going, you know, within its snare. So it almost like makes them immortal to an extent if you're a hobbit, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, but I had those same thoughts though. That's interesting that you brought that up because I did have those same thoughts that maybe it's because they are not obsessed with power and greed. It's just we just want to live here.
Yeah, and that's like they just want to have breakfast and stay in their hobbit hole and be in peace and comfort. And so that's why it can't affect them the same way, because they're just a totally different wired people.
Yeah.
Page 224 says, "For he now perceived that in putting on the ring, he obeyed not his own desire, but the commanding wish of his enemies." Exactly.
Yep.
Mic drop. I think it shows the wisdom of fleeing from sin. Like Gandalf knows he can't even hold the ring.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that actually goes to the next question is, what can we learn from Gandalf and others like Galadriel refusing the ring? To me, it's like that self-awareness of, this isn't good for me and it won't be good for anybody else if I take this, so I'm just not going to do it, you know?
I was thinking about how Gandalf is like among the most powerful beings at this point, and like even he is scared to take it. He knows his power and he's scared to take it, yet he's okay with giving it to a hobbit because he knows that they can handle it. But like the fact that he's like, nope, like that's prime example of fleeing sin.
Yeah.
But
that's so interesting that you like say it from that perspective too, that he is so powerful, but he'll trust a hobbit with it.
Yeah.
But it's because they I mean, they can be corrupted. We see Gollum as an example of that, but it's just like not to the same extent. Whether it was meant to be or not, what Gandalf said at the council about Tom Bombadil, "The first will be last," made me think of where it says that in the Bible. Yeah, I thought of that too. Yeah. He knows that with great power comes great responsibility. I am a hobbit, same. In peace and comfort with food in my hobbit hole. Yeah, absolutely. I am like so content at home. Let's see, I have my chair, I got my books, like I'm good. Maybe the ring is like the portrait of Dorian Gray, where Bilbo had long life, but Smeagol was kind of evil before he found the ring. So his long life made him more and more hideous.
Oh, maybe.
Interesting. I haven't read The Portrait of Dorian Gray, but it's on my list.
It's a wild book.
It's a very short book.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation starter for sure, at the very least.
Yeah. So what do you think of that concept?
I read that. I can see that correlation. Yeah, I can see that.
Cool. Kirsten says, "Power is not meant for all and accessible, and access to great power will destroy the corruptible. We must know what our dangers are. We must have God's discernment to know what not to touch." Yeah, and that just makes me think of like the power of the Holy Spirit in us, that we cannot on our own strength say no. But it's the Holy Spirit in us that gives us the power to say no to temptation and sin. And so when you think of like Gandalf and Galadriel, and I don't know all the lore, but I've heard that they're supposed to be like angelic representations of a sort. And so it just makes me think of like the Holy Spirit being in them, almost being the ones to help guide them and give them the strength to say no and to have that discernment that it's not right for them. I agree with fleeing from sin and not giving it a foothold in your life.
Yeah.
Gandalf is wise enough to not even want to touch it because he knows he would be affected right away. Yeah. And that's how quick sin is. It's a snare. It is. It takes over. Thank God for the gift of the Holy Spirit.
No kidding.
All right. So now let's talk about, did you notice any themes that reminded you of biblical truths or the Christian life? Was there anything that you noticed that could have been allegory, or just what biblical things stood out to you?
Honestly, so many things. Okay. Like I had to write them down. So first of all, just the things that we've mentioned even so far, like people that are so different coming together in unity, like the body of Christ, right? And then the friendships and how we need to surround ourselves with people who are going to help us get through the, like, fellowship. Fellowship is very important. The fact that, you know, it's dark versus light. Let's see, sacrifice. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me was, you know, hobbits. It's almost like the hobbits that are going on at this adventure are like Christians, in the sense that, hear me out, just the sense. So the fact that, like, they have this peaceful life, and like they're separated from the rest of the world and what's going on, so they're separated from it, but these are the ones that are tasked to go out and to fight the evil and to take the ring and, you know, destroy it. And so I just kind of, like, in my mind, equated that to us as Christians a little bit. Like, we are set apart from the rest of the world and all the chaos that's going on in it, but we're called to go into it and spread that light and fight that evil.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I want to share also just a few things from our Discord group. I posted this on the faith reflection, but there was, like, I just love the Discord chat because people will be like, oh, this quote reminded me of this Bible verse, or this reminded me of that. So it's like really fun, like people just sharing that. But there were a few conversations, and I got permission to share these. But Reese, he is not here right now, but he said, I love the pattern that Tolkien takes with most of his work. After each harrowing adventure, there's a time of rest and fellowship and recharging. Then it's back to the road or battle. These rest moments get smaller the more spaced out and further into the trilogy you get. And then Kirsten had said, to me, that reflects the need we have for keeping the Sabbath. If we are going to survive what is ahead, we must take time to rest. And so it is like every time they're at Rivendell or something like that, it's like they have a Sabbath before they continue and they have time to think. And then the next one was from Joy. She said, the Council of Elrond is another example of the subtle hand of providence or chance, as Elrond calls it. And then she quoted, the purpose for which you are called, though I have not called you to me, strangers from distant lands, you have come by chance, it may seem.
It may seem.
And yeah, so she called out God's providence there. And then I have another one from Miss Kirsten where she said, I noticed that the group keeps being advised not to drink certain waters. It just pops up now and again. It made me think of how we're not meant to drink from every spring, spiritually speaking, as well.
That's good.
Yeah, there's the Discord chat. If you're not in there, it's really awesome, the things that people come up with as they're reading. And yeah, let's see where... Sorry, I lost my spot. Let me see where we're at. Okay, I think maybe... Did I read this, Danielle? Strength comes from recognizing our weaknesses.
You didn't, but that was the next one.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it really does. Barb, it just shows how well he knows himself. Oh, and this is about Gandalf, and understands the power of the ring. I think he understands the damage that would result if he was fooled by the ring and it wielded Gandalf's power. Yeah, I am following, for sure. Okay, God can use the least of these to accomplish his purposes.
Yes.
Yep. Kirsten says, fellowship. We are not meant to walk alone. Yes. And the powers of light are purer and stronger than those of darkness, and love is the strong medicine.
Yes.
Love. And then Barb says, amen, Lynn. God uses the humble things like hobbits of the world to shame the wise. Yep. Yeah. It reminds me of the Pilgrim's Progress. Okay, I just pulled this book from our family library, so I need to actually read this one. When Frodo is in the Borrow-wights hole, he cries out to Tom Bombadil with the song Tom gave him for such a time as that, and it reminded me of prayer.
That was the other thing I was going to say. Yes, I loved that. It was like calling on the name of Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think of that connection, like of it representing like prayer. Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
Good versus evil, friendship, using our differences for the common good and purpose, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and like thinking of Gandalf's sacrifice too. And like it had to have been him to be sacrificed for them to have been able to make it through.
Yeah.
And he did that knowing. Like my heart. Barb, all of these things. Lizzie says Boromir only saw the ring once and he never even touched it and it affected him. So it's really impressive that the people who already had power and could do more with it had the strength to refuse it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And what's like so interesting too is it just shows you, like, when it comes to sin, how people have a different tolerance for different different sin, I guess. Like yeah, I mean, all sin is bad, but the way that it corrupted him at the end when he like, yeah, okay. Megan, hi Megan. I was struck by the life-encompassing impact of the task the fellowship undertook. It wasn't just a quick quest they did or a part of their lives. It was everything, as is the Christian life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good. My favorite part of the discussion. I know. I just love seeing what everybody pulls out, and it's just really neat to see everybody's different points of views. I had something that I sent to the Discord group, and let me find the quote. It wasn't that long ago, so I should be able to quickly find it. Sorry, guys. I should have been ready beforehand, but I'm Kay. Nice to meet you. Okay, here it was. In chapter 11, there was a quote talking about fire is our friend in the wilderness. And it reminded me of God leading the Israelites out of Egypt as a pillar of fire.
Oh, yeah. I didn't pick up on that. That's good.
Yeah, fire is our friend in the wilderness. And then, okay, I already shared that quote with you guys. Okay, and I already shared that one. Maybe that was my final thoughts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, for sure. There is so much in here when it comes to different aspects of faith. And if there's anything else you think of as we continue discussion, please feel free to still send it. But I had a list of things that I noticed, like theme wise. So like sacrifice, there's providence, humility, burden bearing, carrying the spiritual weight, and supporting one another as they're carrying that spiritual weight. Corruption of the human heart with like its susceptibility to sin and pride. And then perseverance, continuing forward despite fear and the uncertainty of what's going to happen. Like, can you imagine having Gandalf with you and him falling and dying?
Yeah.
And then you have to just keep moving forward and keep going.
I mean, and like also keeping in mind that like he was the most powerful of them. Like there has to be a moment of if he didn't make it, what can I expect for myself? Like
Yeah.
the bravery to take that next step and keep
Yeah, and to just keep going. But it also like reminds me of, like Jesus. Like, can you imagine like when Jesus died on the cross? Like what the disciples were feeling? Like they went and they hid. They went and they hid, and then Jesus like returned. But like in here, they were like, well, we gotta keep going forward. We've got to take care of this, because if we don't take care of it now, everything's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting. Okay, so you guys, if you have any other biblical things, please feel free to send them, but we're going to move on. How does the story show that even small or overlooked people have an important role in God's plan? So I don't know what the plan is with this character moving forward, but I was thinking about Gollum and how Gollum was like following them, and Dumbledore. Sorry, guys. Don't shun me, please. Gandalf, he was like, "Oh well, Gollum's actually been following us for quite a little bit, but don't send him away because I think he has a greater purpose in this."
Yes.
It's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Him to follow us, but like one, just showing that mercy there, another biblical thing, but also like he's small. He could be like overlooked. Obviously, he's had the ring for so long, so he doesn't seem as small of a character anymore. And he made it to Mordor, and who knows like what duty he is on? I have no idea what his thing is right now. But some people might be like, oh well, it's just this like rabid hobbit. Yeah, but Gandalf said he's got a bigger role in that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting the first time I read it too. I was like, you know, he's what you would expect, like, you know, if we think about how corrupted he has been by the ring, and knowing where his allegiances probably lie, to say, yeah, he probably has a greater role still to play. Like, yeah, thing to say, but then, like, you know, you're talking about mercy, but also mercy, but like grace, like,
Yeah,
it's just that's powerful.
I look normal.
Yay, there she is.
Absolutely. Sorry, guys. This is just the time of day. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Kirsten, can you imagine the fear and the vulnerability?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yes, but no.
Yeah.
Dumbledore. Reminds me of the quote, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called.
Yeah.
Mic drop. All the hobbits and dwarves were small physically for starters, yet God used them due to their humility. Sam was overlooked in some ways, yet his loyalty to Frodo was so important.
Yes.
Can you guys hear Zion? Sorry.
I love it.
God uses imperfect people for his good and purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole Bible until we get to Jesus, that is. The small, simple hobbit is the one who is pure enough of heart to bear the burden. The more powerful ones cannot. Yeah. Yes, Jesse. Yes, Jesse. All for the glory of God. Yes, yes. All right. Well, we're moving to our final question, and it's a fun one. I have to like end it on a super fun note.
Yes.
If you could live in one place, the Shire, Rivendell, etc., where would you choose?
100% the Shire.
Really?
Yes. Like, I would want to go on adventures probably, but the fact that, like, just having this chill little place where I can just read my books and have tea, and like it's just peaceful. I want a peaceful place to live in, but I want to go somewhere else for adventure, you know?
Yeah.
So like I want the Shire.
I'm choosing Rivendell because
Really?
just the talk of like the food there being so good, and I just think I would feel very safe being under Elrond's roof.
That's fair.
So and there's just something about every time the Rivendell is brought up, it reminds me of heaven in a sense, because it's so beautiful, but then they talk about the rest and the recharge that they feel there. It's like the Sabbath place essentially. And you know, while I feel like my upstairs looks like a hobbit hole with my books and my plants and my quilts and my, you know, mismatched pillows and, you know, all the cottagey stuff. If I could have a hobbit hole in Rivendell, that would be great.
Yes. I'd be okay with that too. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Wee Balrog in the background. The Shire, those are my kind of people. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They're my kind of people too. Like, I am so content. But I think for me, having Elrond around would be really nice. The Shire. I would live in the Shire and vacation in Rivendell once a year. Okay.
There we go.
Live in the Shire, holiday in Rivendell. Okay. Okay, so
Yes.
why wouldn't you guys want to live in Rivendell? I'm just curious. Rivendell. Okay.
I don't feel like Rivendell sounds as cozy. As the
Really?
Shire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Because I guess there are like more like higher up people there.
Yeah. I want the coziness,
Yeah.
but I would totally love to visit Rivendell.
Fair, fair. The Shire, obviously, leave the adventures for my books and my second breakfast. Bree, it's safe. Oh, that's a fun answer, but with fun people coming through, so a tiny bit of adventure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got the prancing pony, which who wouldn't have wanted to be there the night that the company showed up?
No.
The Shire in my youth, Rivendell in my old age. So peaceful. Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Bilbo.
I'd like to think Rivendell, but at heart, it's the Shire. The Shire, comfort and safety, but willing to be called to adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then people leave you alone for the most part, unless you're poor Bilbo. Second breakfast, yes. Lynn has it, perfect balance. Have you all heard of the term, I can't pronounce that, higgy? It's a lot like the Hobbit home style. It's a Norwegian term for cozy living. Us book lovers, tea drinkers, pet lovers, crafty types, candle lovers. Is that what we are? Is that us?
I need to learn how to pronounce it first.
Yes. Can you send Emily, please send pronunciation? Yeah, I'm going to look that up because that just probably sums up everybody here in this chat tonight. Okay,
Lothlorien.
Yes, I think the forest there, like
Yes.
seeing the gold leaves and everything. Oh, that would, like, when I was reading that, I was like, what would this look like? Hugga. Okay. Have you heard the term hugga? But it's spelled Hygge, but hugga is how you pronounce it. Okay. And then Catherine said, I've heard it like hygge. Okay, so maybe it's one of those words that some people just pronounce it differently. But Hygge. Yes, I belong to a Facebook group called Sacred Hugga. Lots of kindred spirits out there. Okay, I'm going to have to find that. That's awesome. All right. Well, that was our final question, you guys. I don't think we've got, I think we're getting a couple more in. There's a great podcast called Holy Hugga that explains the concept and how it can relate to Christian life. I've never heard of this before. And like,
writing that down.
So many people are like, oh, yes. Okay, let's write the Hugga down. Hygge. Interesting. Hygge, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Hey, that's okay. Thank you. It's Norwegian. Just give it your best shot. Thanks, Kirsten. All right. Well, now I have some homework. But the next discussion date for the Two Towers, it is in the description box on this video. This video is going to be posted live onto my regular YouTube channel, so you can come back to it. But March 9th, 5:30 p.m. EST. It's another Saturday, same time, same place. I will post the link a couple days before with the questions.
Did you just say March 9th?
May 9th. Thank you. May 9th, 2026. 5:30 p.m. EST. We will be discussing the Two Towers. And if you would like to be a part of the Discord group, I do have linked my Patreon in the description box. No pressure for that, but it is just really fun getting everybody's perspective like as you're reading it, and you can mute notifications so that way you don't get spoiled. But just going to put that out there. March 9th is best. Yes, my bad. May 9th. There's a whole song about Hugga from the Broadway show of Frozen on Disney Plus. Explains the word in a fun way. Okay, interesting. And you guys, I'm second guessing myself, so I'm going to pull out. Okay, yes, May 9th.
Okay.
Saturday, May 9th is our Two Towers discussion. And I will hopefully see you back then, but I feel like that's got everything covered. Feel free, if like you think of something later, come back and put it in the comment section. We can keep the conversation going. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night.